Well, it's Monday, and as a full-time author, I am preparing for this week's writing. I'm reading a key text. It's Kabbalistic Visions, and this particular section is Carl Jung's interpretation on alchemy. This is such a critical aspect of my book, and the Kabbalistic section will form a whole chapter in of itself. I'm cross-referencing some old notes here in my moleskin, particularly around Helena Blavatsky's work on Lucifer, but also the Old World and New World Order notes, also any etymological study and notes that I've made, particularly around Latin phrases. And I'm highlighting here the left and right brain hemisphere because it's critical to the concept and doctrine of alignment, the right thought, emotion, and aligned action. Of course, you've heard that in my doctrine and some of my teachings. Now, obviously, I have to do my own shadow work that is continual. And like I said, anything I teach and do, I am personally practicing on a daily basis. This is an old journal that I'm reflecting on and old notes. And it's, it brings up a lot of pain because it shows just how conflicted and dysregulated I was at an earlier stage in my life, particularly in one of my main relationships. This journal here, as beautiful as it is a lot of the shadow work and the things that are coming up for me. They're also manifestations that, I'm working on and actively aligning myself to achieve. Particularly important as part of being an author and being isolated is stepping away from the desk and packing up and going to a coffee shop. This was such a key aspect of my time as a student studying externally, and I found that was critical. Of course, this is again the Moleskin Journal and Helena Blavatsky's notes there. I found her work to be brilliant. Of course, my work is arcane. That is, it's a combination of light and dark. I am not purely an occultist. Of course, I'm looking here at the Old World and New World, and of course, occult-based symbolism, which is critical because symbolism forms the foundation of so much occult work. And of course, again, I found this section in my journal that our love is our guru and is reflected, and is our teacher and is reflected back in our relationships. And of course, this journal brings up so much of my old life and my old self and my old identity. This is such a wonderful textbook on the Holy Kabbalah, and was, of course, this is the Kabbalistic tree, and I'm learning it, and also it's cross-referencing the tarot. This was specifically printed for me, so it's not readily available on shelves, but it is a beautiful edition of the Holy Kabbalah. And of course, I've got to go and find more books to take for the coffee shop writing session, and today I'm looking at Lucifer in the Middle Ages, because this book is particularly important, as I do like to refer to Lucifer and how he was seen throughout history. And of course, this is only during the Middle Ages period, which, as you can appreciate, was the burning of witches as well. I hope you've enjoyed seeing just a little snippet into my world, and I have invited new followers and old followers to DM me on anything that they would like me to teach them about. Of course, as I said, my work is a combination. It's an arcane, mystical, teaching-based doctrine, and thank you so much to all my new followers. I hope you enjoy this week's teachings.